Ba-da-da-ba-da-da. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily live stream. My name is Kellam. Welcome to the show. I am here in New York. Sorry, I'm no longer in New York. See, it's just all twisted in my brain. It's been a busy weekend. I moved to Atlanta this weekend, flew in yesterday morning, and I'm going to be all week. I'm going to be bouncing, doing the live stream, doing the Discord stuff, doing the BitLab stuff, and then I'm going to be touring a bunch of apartments. Currently, I'm staying at TJ's dad's house, Mr. Tim Shed, down there in the basement. But the markets keep moving, and we got to keep showing up and seeing what's going on in the chart. So how's everybody feeling today? Welcome. Dano Crypto said he can give a hint. Did I put something about guests in there? No, there's no guest today. But maybe we'll have a guest later this week. I got some big things coming up. I copy pasted the description today. So if there says something about a guest, there's not a guest. But how's everybody doing? How you feeling? How you looking? Oh, you know what? I got to send, give me 1 second. I got to send a message to Mr. Morel to do the community post. 1 second, community post today. There we go. All right. So how's everybody feeling? Markets have been a bit wild. Did anybody sell? Did anybody buy? What did you do? Let me know in the chat right now. If you're watching this at any other point, comment down below and let me know. We try to check through those as much as possible just to make sure that we are following along with the engagement of all of you fine people that are part of our community. None of you are followers here. When you join this channel, you become part of the community, and that's what this is all about. So let me go ahead and hide some stuff here because I need to be able to see. I just had to reset every time I do this when I'm when I change. What is that? Oh, that's Telegram, not Telegram, WhatsApp. Closing all the things, making sure I can see all the things I need to see. What's going on in the markets? You know, what's happening? We got a big week this week with a lot of stuff happening with the SEC, with Binance, with BRICS. There's some stuff coming out of BRICS, some potential developments there, which will be much longer play. But we also have the FOMC meeting starting tomorrow, ending on Wednesday, and then we get to know what's going on there. So what do we look at today? Crimson Caravan Company just sent me in the private Discord here. Said awesome show for Friday. I guess he sent this a couple days ago. I'm just seeing it now. Great, love seeing Bill on Fridays. Yeah, we love having Bill in the house. I got some other really big guests I'm lining up as well. We're gonna be doing a series where I'm doing these 45-minute to hour-long interviews that we're going to clip and put the sort of highlights or not, maybe not highlights, but a shortened version, I should say that. A shortened version that's going to be released on BitBoy Crypto. And then for anybody that wants to watch the full interview, that will be on the BitLab Academy site. So we've got BitLab Academy channel. We've got some really big guests that I'm going to be interviewing, kind of similar to the Will Clemente interview that we did about a month or so back. We're going to be doing this regularly so we can bring like some of the most robust and smartest and well-rounded minds in the community to you all, so you can, you know, sort of peer into what they're looking at, what they're thinking about the markets, what tools they're using. We want to bring that alpha to you, and that's what we're going to be doing. So let me go ahead and pull up. I can't see the chat for some reason. Let me go ahead and pop it out. I'm feeling good this morning, guys. It was a little bit of a heavy weekend, you know, having moved, you know, my wife and I being on different paths now. Thank God I'm a good communicator and she's a good communicator, and we had no drama whatsoever. It was a joint decision. It's not like I just left. She's off doing her own thing as well, touring, doing music, and we just decided we needed to, you know, sometimes, you know, she's always going to be family to me, and I'm going to take care of her, but we needed to be on different paths. So I'm here in Atlanta now, full focus 100% on crypto and BitLab Academy. So I don't want to just talk this whole stream. I want to share some charts with you guys. We're going to do a bunch of TA today as well. We will be looking at some of the things, a couple things in the news just to kind of gloss over stuff. But I want to shout out everybody here. It's showing up on a daily basis. Crimson Caravan Company, Sawtooth Hiker, Learning, King Peasant, Zeus Cash, Randy Moore, Karen Swaggart Harris, always such a memorable name. Can't forget that one. I'm George 2. Well, I'm George 3. Dano Crypto, what's up, brother? We're going to have to get you back on. Everybody, if you all remember having Dano on, throw a 1 in chat if you want me to have Dano come back on here. I'll tell you what, even if you don't put a 1, I'm still going to have him back on. I like what he's got to say, and it's always good to get different minds in the house. Livio Capitano, Kelly, what's up? What's up, Livio Capitano? How you doing? Rafiq Gafoor, Gubby, Eric Brubaker. So many familiar names in here. Shout out to everybody here. Crypto Kid, is my mic? Okay, there we go. Just want to make sure I wasn't peeking out. Prokoshi No Dinero. We got to get this going. GS, how you doing? A couple more. B Team Crypto. I saw Total Clinic Solutions in here as well. Justin Eubanks, Elliot Locke, how you doing, my friend? Well, Mellow Fellow, I see you as well. Brad Guidell, my boy. Brad Guidell is going to be helping out a little bit with the channel here. I'll be connecting with him to make that happen here shortly. Mitch Shaw, how you doing? You know what, everybody, if you're feeling good today, and if you're not feeling good today, whether or not you're feeling good today, let's put it that way, let's always remember to refocus each morning on a little bit of gratitude, whether it's a loss in the crypto market or a gain of a friendship or our health or friends and family or the ability that we can own a computer to even participate in this new digital economy, having feet, having all 10 fingers. If you only have 8, having all 8 fingers. We just need to refocus and recenter ourselves sometimes on gratitude. Even when you're feeling grateful, if you continually feeling grateful about the same thing, challenge yourself to be grateful for the things that challenge you as well. That will always provide a better path for you and an easier path. When you're grateful for the things around you, life is easier because you're seeing the light that's around you rather than focusing on the darkness. Whatever you focus on tends to manifest itself into becoming more abundant. So if things are getting darker and darker for you, or more difficult and more difficult, take that as a lesson. And in that moment, try to identify what lessons you could be learning in that moment, identify what things you could be letting go, identify what ego is challenging you. And with that, I'm not going to preach you any longer. I love you all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Ding that bell. Join our community here if you're not. If this is your first time here, I can guarantee you it's not going to be your last time. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right. Well, looking here, right over here at the Twitterverse, make sure, let me go ahead and make that a double. Make sure you come over here, give me a follow right here at Kelly Kellam, Kelly Kellam. Pushing up 21.6, and we're right about 21.7. I should get 5 of you right now to come and follow me right now. I just want to make sure that the only reason I bring this up, I want you to see this check mark and this logo right here, the HIT logo. If you see any account that contacts you that doesn't have this and is not spelled exactly like this, no spaces, no dots, no S's, no 3 L's, just Kelly Kellam with the check mark and the HIT. If it doesn't have all those 3 things, then it is not me. I try to highlight this because there's so many fake accounts out there. And then, of course, if you haven't yet, come over here to the BitLab Academy page. Give it a follow. We're pushing up 27.3, 2,735. Give us a follow. Hit that retweet on today's post and hit the like button. You're entered to win. We draw on Fridays. Big love to everybody here. Now, what are we talking about? Well, let's take a brief look at the markets. We're going to look at some on-chain. We're going to look at some news stories, and we're going to do a bunch of TA. I want everybody that's in chat right now. There's 80 people in here, 37 likes. That means 42 of you are now 38 likes. 42 of you are takers, and you don't participate in the communities that you're involved in. I want to encourage you all and empower you all to participate in the communities that you're involved. If you're watching this, you're a part of this community. So hit that like button. You're helping the entire crypto ecosystem. You're letting YouTube know that you like crypto content. So hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, join us here, ding that bell. Now we're going to look here at the markets. I want everybody that's watching, we got 83 people watching. Everybody, I want you to put in one coin, and you don't need to put in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Cardano. I'm definitely, or XRP. I'm going to look at those 4, but everybody put in one coin you like to do TA on. We're going to have the mods look at that. They can message me on the private mod Discord. And whichever, some of the ones that we see the most of, we will do turbo TA on those as well. So everybody get involved in the chat right now. Let me know what it is you want to see. But looking here at Bitcoin, we're still looking at the traditional indicators here, and we can see, look at this. This is on the week. We see this is flipped over to the red. Okay, well, let's go ahead and put some lines here. Option V. Right here, flipped red, option V. Right here, option V. All I'm doing is looking right here on the MACD. I'm not even looking at price. Okay, right here, option V. Flipped red, option V. Okay. So what happens each time this is flipped red? We got two major signals we're going to be looking at here today, the 200-week moving average and the MACD. Well, what is the MACD? First off, let's start with what the MACD is. If we're looking at this 200-week moving average, what's the difference between this and the MACD? Well, in theory, they're very similar in terms of what they're looking at, except moving averages, right? 200-week moving average. This is average price over 200 weeks, right? So we're getting this all smoothed out. Getting a good idea of the trend. And then the moving, the MACD, MACD as a lot of people call it. This is the moving average convergence divergence. So it's two different moving averages. I believe it's in 13 and the 20. I could be wrong. Yeah, 13, 12 and 26. 12 and 26. So the 12 moving average and the 26 moving average. And you're seeing the faster moving one, the blue, and which is the 12, and then the 26, which is the 26-week moving average. You're basically seeing, you're getting a relationship of what's happening, where the momentum is shifting. Okay, and so when you see this, the histogram, you have 1, 2, 3 parts of the MACD. You have the 12 moving average, the 26 moving average, and then you have the histogram. This histogram, if we bring this up, this is the measurement of the distance between these two moving averages. Now I'm getting a bunch of dings. I just want to make sure it's okay. We got a bunch of alts. I see iRate Specialist and Amit Shah. We're gonna be looking at file. We're gonna try and look at all these: Filecoin, Atom, HBAR, Solana, Stacks, ICP, GRT, XRP, Near, Dot, BDX. Never even heard of BDX. I bet iRate Specialist slipped that one in, but it's okay. We'll try and look at all these. But here on the MACD, what we're seeing is two moving averages. And you see, as soon as this splits, you see this difference right here, how big this is showing how far the spread is between these. So you're able to very easily look at just these moving averages or just the histogram or both. And you can look just at the histogram and you see this is converging right here, right? And then right here, this is diverging. What do I mean by diverging? This is a divergence as well. This means the different distance between these two lines is spreading. So this is converging, diverging. Converging, meaning it's coming down. This is diverging. This is converging, diverging, convergent. So you're seeing the measurement, the spread between these two lines. So you can read that very easily just by looking at this MACD histogram. You know it's diverging when this is the brighter colors, dark green or dark pink, and it's converging when this turns to the lighter color here, the very off-white, very, very light pink, or light green. So you can see just at a glance what's happening. What we're seeing here is this is flipped down below. So we want to keep an eye on this because this is suggesting, this is showing you that the momentum was coming down. So we were looking for this cross. So we have this sort of cross here on these moving averages, and this has come down. Now, oh, my bad. Now what we can, oh, there we go. There we go. So what we can see here is what I want you to pay attention to. Each time this MACD crossed on the weekly, this has signaled pretty, down. I'm sure there's going to be more in here. We got one right here as well. Option V. So each time this is crossed, this is signaled downside. Downside, continued downside, down. So what's going to happen here? This is the question. Does this mean we're going to be down, or are we in the midst of a change in behavior in the markets? Well, we're going to look at a bunch of different things today to draw that signal. Excuse-moi. Now, I want to look at Cardano, by the way. Do you all remember? Last week, let me go ahead and double click on this. I'm going to put this on the daily. Do you guys remember last week? I think price was around here, and I was suggesting, based on the way this shape was, I think it was in this juncture right here. Yeah, because you can see where I was drawing it. I was like, I think what's likely, based on the structure that we are seeing, that this is going to come down, test this, and then come down and test this line. Remember, at the very end of the stream, also on the BitBoy Crypto stream, I was calling for a likely price action for Cardano, for the Cardano US dollar pair, for price to likely come down and test at least the 30-cent mark. And not only did we test it, we've sliced right through it. We're getting a little bit of a reversal now. And the question is this a relief, or is this a relief rally that's going to come up like this? In this case, we've got a lot of work to do, even to get to the 0.618, the golden pocket, option F or alt F if you're on PC. We could see we would need to come all the way up to basically test near this line up at 33 cents just to get to the golden pocket. And even at this level, if you see this start moving, this doesn't mean it's going to the moon. We have to take out this level and see all these bottoms here. We have this to contend with, and then all the way up here at 35 cents, 33 cents, 35 cents. Two major levels for this to come up before I'm even convinced that this is going to have any continued upward price action. As it stands right now, this looks like it might bounce, roll over, and continue to the downside. It all depends. This week, we got some huge stuff going on with Binance, with SEC, with FOMC meeting. There's a lot of weight and context that's going on in the market. Now, let me go ahead and tune back into chat here real quick. See Alex Green in the house, buddy. We got to get on a call. Some big changes coming. I want to talk with you about Quarter Crawler. What's up? Cody Calvin Klein. That's a good name. So looking here, the market's got a lot of work to do. Look at this. We lost this level. Look at this. Lower high. Now we've got a lower low. Does this suggest we are going to rally? This would make sense, even to rally up to this level, get rejected at this level, and then continue down if we get any sort of bullish impulse. So we're going to talk about this a little more. Now let's go ahead and look at Ethereum really quick. Go auto. Okay, now remember, we had this descending, broadening wedge. We've fallen back into this channel. So is this going to come up and then lose this level and come down even further? Are we going to be testing down to the 1500s on Ethereum? If we look at this, if we project this out, let's go ahead and project this out like this. I mean, we could come, we're now back within this falling channel. We could come all the way down here and still be within this structure, which wouldn't be the worst thing. If we lose these two levels, that's when we're looking at, quite a, much lower, much weaker price action. So I just wanted to take a peek at this before we jump into some of the things I wanted us to look at today. But I want to check in with you all and ask you very specifically, have you hit that like button? Have you joined us in our community here? Have you come over to the BitLab Academy Twitter page right here? Enter yourself to win. All you need to do, we draw every Friday. The last Friday, we gave out $100. We give away memberships. We give away all kinds of stuff. All you need to do is come to the @Academy BitLab, which is the BitLab Academy. Follow us. Hit that retweet. Hit this like button. You're entered to win. We draw randomly from these. So go ahead and do that. Now, what I want to talk about today, let me go ahead and move this over here. What I want to talk about today is this article. I was looking for different things to pull up about what was going on this week. And this article kind of has most of the things I wanted to talk about. So this will make the news section, which we don't really do a lot of news on this channel. Anybody that's new, we do need to check into the context of what's happening, especially on weeks and days like now, this week. There's a lot of stuff that's impacting what's going on in the market. So we need to be aware of what that is and understand the main reason, even though some people that are just absolute professional traders, some people will say, you don't need to follow the news. All you need to do is follow a chart. But I will argue that for people that are newer in the market, I do think it's absolutely imperative that you understand price action, understand momentum, understand volume, understand candles, chart formations. The charts will provide you a map. But for newer people, for people that are newer in this market, there's a tendency to get absolutely trapped by your own emotionality, by getting triggered by a strong green candle, fearing that you're going to miss out from the bottom. So you buy in the middle of a strong green candle, and then the market reverses. And then you start to build this story in your head that says, man, every time I buy, the price goes down. Every time I sell, the price goes up. If you have ever felt that, throw a 1 in chat right now. Let everybody know that they are not alone, because every single one that is watching this channel has felt that. I'm going to throw it in myself. 1, 1, 1. Yes, we all do it. But in those moments you're feeling like that, that is an excellent indication that you need to reevaluate what your strategy is. Because if you are being trapped by that feeling, that means you are ignoring strategy and you are buying emotion instead of executing your plan. So we need to be aware, especially newer traders or somebody that's, hasn't figured out their strategy yet. We need to have an understanding of what these things are that are in the digital asset ecosystem, the global marketplace, the economic story of the time, what the context is, the pressures that are pushing in to the markets and affecting what people are speculating. And not only what people are speculating, smart money can see a news story and say, man, I bet I can get people to buy this hope or sell this fear. And so they will push the market further to instigate those things, only to then reverse it back the other way, because they're trying to trap you. So let's go ahead and peek at some of the stories of what's happening this week, because it's important that we don't get trapped in the volatility, in the emotionality of the volatility that is absolutely going to come with some of these news stories. And it might, and I want you to be aware of this, that emotionality, that volatility may happen in both directions. We call that a whipsaw. We call that, liquidity hunting. When the price action pushes up really fast and you get scared, so you buy, and then it reverses, and then you're like, oh, it's going to go down, so you sell, and then it finally goes, then it does actually resolve to the upside. There's so much money being made out there from smarter money than us, smarter money than you, smarter money than me, that has the capital necessary and the patience and the strategy to push the markets in the directions back and forth that they want them to go, to trap people in those emotional traps, so that they can have you donate your money to their new boat, their new deck on their third house, their trip to Paris. They're stealing from your inability to be patient. So let's be patient. Let's look at these markets. Ooh. Elliot Locke, I'm sorry that your butt is broke. I hope you get your butt fixed. I'm just joking. I'm reading your comment here. Karen Swagger Harris, thank you. Wanted a super chat, but Elliot, you've been a member of the community for some time. Let's go ahead and see. Did you have a particular thing? Okay, Crimson Caravan. All right, so I have $0 for a super chat. This is your super chat, Elliot, because you have been a super friend. Got to meet you in person at the Bitcoin conference in Miami. We've been together through multiple channels. You're here I appreciate you. Will Kelly give his opinion on ADA being delisted and Coinbase pushing back and not delisting anything? Well, I have seen that Coinbase has taken quite a bit of a stand. I think they even mentioned that they would not be delisting. BitBoy actually suggested the other day that it would actually be a pretty ballsy move if they actually relisted XRP before the case was fully resolved. This question, basically just putting it in the face of the SEC. I don't know if that'll happen or not. That's kind of more of a hope than a true awareness of anything. But ADA, yeah. So I took some profits on ADA, and ADA was my largest position outside Bitcoin. And the reason is because, one, I was moving, so I wasn't going to take other capital. I wasn't going to go into debt for moving, and I've been cash poor this last year because I've been very, very adamant about putting getting my DCA strategy very strongly into the market, especially the last 4 months, the last 6 months, basically since I would say November to March. I was just been actually doing a lot of DCA buying, but also from I would say April to now, I've been still DCAing into stable coins and to other stuff. But moving, I thought it was important that especially where we're at in the market, there's no telling what can happen. There's no telling how dark the SEC and the central banks will take this and what they will allow to happen in terms of the U.S. regulation and what that climate's going to be for exchanges and other securities laws and other, not only Coinbase, but other institutions as well. KuCoin, Gemini, there's a number of other exchanges that operate in the U.S. as well. There's a potentiality for a very, very bad move to come. So I thought I'm going to take my stable coins and take some profit on some Cardano to fund my move. And I'm glad I did, because then, we have this, the charts also were suggesting a further down price. So out of that, and I talked about this last week, capital protection right now is pretty important. I think in terms of Cardano, we're at a point now where it's dropped so far. I would never advise anybody to buy or sell anything. For one, this is not financial advice. I'm talking about strategies I've done and what I've seen other people do. I think where we're at now with the market, I think it's a question as to how much further, how further down Cardano could go. And there's no answer for what that could be. It's all based on things. So I don't know. I feel like Cardano, I feel like Coinbase will, it's less likely that Coinbase will remove or delist Cardano, because I think if they do, that also would open the doors of them backtracking on what they said. And they have said about the 16 coins that they listed, Coinbase has said specifically, we basically ran all this through the SEC when we were going to do our IPO 2.5 years ago. And we feel like we do not list securities, and as such, we're not delisting anything. So I feel like if they were to delist those things, it would be caving to that comment and suggesting that maybe there's a speculation that they're worried that it could be deemed a security. And this case with Coinbase is different than the case with Binance. The case with Coinbase is more specifically about what is a security. So I think it's less likely that Coinbase will delist it. But again, I'm in capital protection mode. And so I did take some off the table there. Now we got 176 people in the room, only 90 likes. Hit that like button. I don't ask you to hit the like button because I need it for my ego. We're trying to push the algorithms for Coinbase, for YouTube, so they see it's not just our channel. When you hit that like button or join on any crypto channel, it lets YouTube know that you like crypto content, and it helps make us a safe sort of niche within the YouTube community. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about this article so we can jump back into a bunch of TA. SEC, CPI, and a strong rebound. 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week. Okay, so Bitcoin faces a week full of potential triggers, both up and down. This is what we were just talking about. Not only triggers, but also the exacerbation of those triggers with smart money, big money, trying to push a narrative to trap you in emotional trades. So this is a key one right here. This line right here, which is one of the things we were just looking at. If we come right back over here, we look at Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and delete these lines. These lines are where, excuse me, these lines are where the MACD was crossing. But we want to look at right here, if we go to auto, double click, we're looking at this 200-week moving average, and we've seen this has been an excellent boundary of support. I mean, we have dipped below it. We see these wicks dip a little bit, dip quite a bit, suck right back up. We broke below it here. So this is a change in trend over several years. And remember, Bitcoin is still a very new, very young asset as compared to everything, most other things that are trading on global markets. So we broke down below this, tried to break back above it, got rejected, came back up, got rejected here again. Now we've broken above it. Is this going to be a fake out to the downside to come back up? Or does this mean that we're looking to maybe come down to this this sort of parallel line, the lower support here, down in the 21,000, 21, maybe if this continues sideways, maybe all the way over here, this would actually be great. If this was chopped around here and found support, not only on this previous high, Gesundheit. This would actually be great. If this did chop around in here, push up, get rejected, the best thing for crypto right now, if we do have a bullish narrative, is not that this goes up. The best thing for crypto for Bitcoin right now is for this to push up, get rejected, come down, and kind of travel in this zone here. And then post-halving, which is, I guess, around here, then start working our way up post-halving. The halving is about right here, option B. Somewhere in this region, let's do it right about, let's do April 1st. So it's going to be somewhere in this region right here. Why do we not know the date? Because the halving is based on block number. It's 210,000, I believe, blocks, which everybody calls the 4-year cycle, but it tends to be about 3 years and 10 months. And that would put it somewhere, depending on how fast those blocks process or if they get slowed down, probably somewhere towards the end of March to all of April, somewhere in this region. Now, if this does drop down, this isn't the worst thing in the world. Think about it. If we understand the supply and demand dynamics of Bitcoin, and this drops down, and we know that Bitcoin is becoming more and more scarce, and more people are holding this long term, exacerbating how scarce Bitcoin is on exchange. And we're seeing people take coins off of exchange, outflows, net outflows, what we call that, exchange net outflow. Then we're getting a huge amount of illiquid supply and less Bitcoin available as a whole, which means it doesn't take, it becomes exponentially less needed for more demand. If you have exponentially less supply, then smaller amount of demand has a larger impact. So if we have that coming, and if we have any positive regulation, or even, this is hard to say, but even negative regulation to altcoins, that also exacerbates, okay, I've said exacerbates too many times on this stream. I'm taking out of my vocabulary for this stream. That would dramatically increase the liquidity that is flowing into Bitcoin, because that means there's going to be a lot less liquidity flowing into other projects. More capital available to still participate in the digital asset ecosystem, Bitcoin. So regardless of which way this goes, I want you to all realize we have an opportunity to navigate this market based on not only what our hopes and dreams are. No, screw your hopes and dreams. This is about understanding what's happening in the market. This is understanding how to navigate and reallocate your portfolio to make the most out of what's happening for the available cryptos, digital assets within the cryptocurrency, crypto asset ecosystem, so that you can benefit the most. I don't care if you love XLM or you love XRP or you think Cardano's the greatest. I hope they do well. Those are all coins that I have held or am holding. But what I'm interested is not what I want to happen. What I'm interested in is reading the market and navigating my portfolio in such a way that I can capitalize in a safe way on the most the most profitable sort of strategy, so that I can participate this in a way that helps improve my life. Would I like to see some certain coins do well? Absolutely. Some of them I'd like to see do well because they have such small market caps. It doesn't mean they're going to. That also means they're higher risk. So we need to understand that. And I'm Karen Swagger Harris. Yeah, you know what? I say that lovingly. It's not about that. We all need to realize this is a dog eat dog market. Every marketplace, even whether there's manipulation or not, everybody that's participating in this market is using any means and leverage that they know how. And I don't mean leverage in the market. They're using their strategy, their tools, and everything at their disposal to make sure that they can make the highest return on their investment. So I'm not mad at smart money or institutions pushing prices to certain levels because they're trying to trap liquidity from people buying emotionally. If I understand that, and I'm trying to be more like a predator in this market than like prey, and none of us will ever be able to really swim exactly like the big smart money does, but we can swim alongside them. If I understand what their game plan is, and I understand that they're doing these types of things to push the market and trap people emotionally, we can see this. We come here on the 2 hour, look at this. Okay, trapping people emotionally. We see this range right here, option T. You see this right here? This right here is market makers, smart money. Okay, pushing it up. See this wick right here? Some poor John or Jane bought right here because they want to catch it before it breaks out. What happens? Reverses, comes down. And then some of these people sold right here. They bought here, sold here, gave the liquidity to somebody buying here, and then they're just rinse and repeating, taking liquidity from people. This is another example. Nope, down. Somebody bought here. Now, at the top of each one of these peaks, somebody bought. Somebody was a buyer here, and they were buying from somebody selling this position to buy lower. Somebody sold this position to somebody buying this position to go higher. You see what I mean? So if we understand this, we have a strategy in place, we can take advantage of this alongside of the smart money that's pushing the liquidity around like this. The number one way we can do this is just by not allowing ourselves to dive into that emotionality. So let's come back over here. Let's finish this story. We're going to come back to a bunch of TA here in a moment. So we see this right here. We have this descending level of resistance. This also seems like it kind of would have connected here as well from here, this point to this point, and boom, boom, boom. And we're getting squeezed right into the zone. We did have a weekly close, which is pretty big. Weekly close below the 200-week moving average. So mayday, mayday. Michael Vanderpoop, another one of the people I've had on my Crypto Answered podcast on Twitter Spaces, which I host here on my page every Thursday. So come give me a follow at Kelly Kellam. Make sure I got the check mark and the hit. We do this every Thursday. Got a lot of great content I put out there. So come interact with me. Where are we at? Total market cap is beneath the 200-week moving average. So it's not just Bitcoin. It's the total market cap. So this means all of the digital assets that are in the digital asset ecosystem, Bitcoin and all the alts, have lost the 200-week moving average. So just in general, the market is being very weak. With traders' downside targets already extending to 24,000 and below, some took the opportunity for more optimistic take on both shorter and longer timeframes. Dean Crypto Trades noted upside potential thanks to the weekend losses opening up a CME futures gap. So what is a CME futures gap? We're bouncing back and forth on all the information that we can today. Let's kind of go over here to totals. I think I took it off. Let's go right here. Futures. So let's go ahead here. What this is more institutional type traders trading futures, and we get these gaps. You see this gap right here? Came down, filled it. See this gap right here? It took quite some time. Came up and filled it, lost back below. We still have a gap up here that we need to, but me and some of the people here at Hit Network, we went through and we drew out like 50 or 80 different gaps over a multi-year period. And there's a pretty high hit rate. It's about 91% or something of CME gaps. Come on, computers. I have so many things open when I'm doing these streams. When we get these gaps, and a gap would be something like there's a small gap right here. You see the bottom side of this wick and the top of this candle, a little gap here, went up, came down and filled it. Gap right here. Look at this. Gap. Where do these gaps come from? Over the weekend, CME futures close like traditional markets. So they close on Friday, open up Sunday night. So if the Bitcoin market moves up, in this case it did, over the weekend, then on the end of the weekend, Sunday evening, at least in the US, Sunday evening, depending on what time zone you're in, when the CME futures open, it accounts for, basically it opens closer to the price about where Bitcoin is, and you have this gap. Well, price tends to come down and close the whole Bitcoin market, not just CME futures. And we got this gap right here. So it's basically from 26,730 to it's basically a $200 gap, small gap. We can actually do a little box right here. So we have a little bit of a gap above us. Does this mean Bitcoin is going to reverse? No, what this would suggest, and if we've seen this multiple times, we're going to make this red. We've seen this multiple times. We see this gap. We see this, where's that? This gap right here going up, immediately came down, came back up and down. So when we get these gaps, let's see another gap right here. Came up, tapped it, and went up. So right here, this is a very small gap. It's almost inconsequential, but it is a gap. What's likely to happen is for this to reverse, come up, tap this liquidity here, and then roll over and continue to the downside if we're looking at it in a bearish narrative. So we just need to pay attention to that. There is a liquidity above us from the CME futures area. And if we start seeing Bitcoin start traveling back up, it doesn't mean everything's reversing. We have to be aware of all the context. Yeah, so this is exactly same thing that I was just pointing out. So the gap stands between 26,150 and 26.5. Let's go ahead and go face off. Incredible Crypto, I like it. He said, when you have a major correction down and folks are underwater, there's resistance to the upside as moves up are sold into by bag holders. When you have capitulation down and folks have been drowned, forced to sell at the bottom, aka capitulate, that sell pressure no longer manifests as we move up because there's no one left to sell. Part of weekend, so what he's saying here is when we're looking at the price, coming back here, big screen, let's go to the 4 hours. So we're seeing this strong. We have too many lines. Let's delete some lines. Man, I did not even notice that. You see this? Look at this line. This line, which I drew quite a while ago. I had no idea if this was going to come down and tap this. I just projected it from this point to this point. And look at this. Came down right into the green box that we drew a month or two ago. Tap this. Relief back to the upside. Price comes back down, taps it again, and finds support right on this line. But the question is, this is a rising wedge. Is this going to actually lose this level and come down? Maybe tap all the way down here to the 21.5? The question here is, price moving down. If price, there's been a lot of basically people selling into this. If I were to guess, I would think that there's probably still another, even if this resolves to the upside, I think that there's still another washout, that there's such negative sentiment right now. I think there's a final washout. I think there's going to be another move down, probably at least to the 24.5 region, which would kind of break these previous highs, this green line right here, lose this level, maybe a washout a little lower before we resolve to the upside, if we resolve to the upside. So we need to pay attention to that. Now, so this is what we need to pay attention to this week. Deadline for Binance and Binance US to respond to the SEC's application for temporary restraining order. This is today. We're going to have to see what comes of that. Do they respond, which they're supposed to? And then tomorrow, motion for temporary Binance US restraining order hearing. Also, same day, the Hinman documents release, which is basically an ex-SEC official talking years ago, framing essentially, which I think is going to be beneficial to the XRP case that's happening with XRP and the SEC. This is one of the reasons why XRP has been moving. The Hinman documents, judge ruled a couple weeks ago or a month or so back that the Hinman documents could be released. And this is going to be something that's going to be informing some of the legal precedent, I think, that the judge's decision is going to be made on, which is also why I think we have all this stuff happening right now with, at the same time, Binance and Coinbase, SEC just throwing stuff at the wall. I think they know they're going to lose. I think there's already been indication that maybe not lose, but at minimum not go as favorably to the SEC as the SEC wanted in terms of ruling XRP a security. And if this is to happen, now the SEC already has these other cases in litigation. They've already been charged. All this stuff needs to move forward in that regard. But what happens if the XRP case gets handled basically sets a very good legal precedent in terms of what a security is. So a lot of stuff happening. Now, what's the next thing? What's the next thing we have? We can just look at it here. We have the U.S. rate decision. This is from the FOMC, which, so we have the CPI data coming out today. Let's actually look at that. Forex factory calendar, Monday, Tuesday. So this is going to be tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. And remember, this could immediately flip what the predictions are going to be for the FOMC interest rate, because they're talking tomorrow and Wednesday. I think as it stands right now, and it's in this article as well. We see right now 78.2% think that there's going to be a pause, meaning there's going to be no hike. But if the CPI data comes out tomorrow and it shows that costs are going up dramatically, consumer price index, meaning that, is inflation, kind of becoming a little bit more entrenched? Is it showing that costs are going up again, where we've had reductions in CPI over the last several readings? We could see this immediately flip and all of a sudden have 78% on a call for another 25% hike. If that were to happen, I think it's going to put a huge amount of downward pressure on all markets. So we need to pay attention to this. We also get the ECB, European Central Bank rate decision on Thursday. So we have US Wednesday, Thursday is European. Then we also get the jobless claims. We get retail sales. Then Friday we get the Eurozone CPI, emissions and consumer sentiment. We got a big week coming up. This is all stuff that has to do with what's going on in the broader global economy, specifically U.S. and then also Europe. But we're getting a good indication about where economies are going, where the costs of goods are going, and all these things have a big impact on what the risk narrative, what the risk mentality is going to be in markets. We've got to pay attention to these things. Now, I think this is all that we're seeing here. Yeah. So, but at the same time, we're seeing fundamentals rising. What are fundamentals? This is looking at stuff like mining hash rate, looking at long-term holders, looking at the strength of the market, looking at things that aren't just related to directly price on exchange, but are we seeing a growing and more robust ecosystem in Bitcoin? And we're seeing these sorts of things. Hash rate is already higher than ever, according to some estimates, while difficulty will increase by 2.5%, meaning how difficult it is to mine. If the competition, if there's more and more competition to mine, more miners, then the difficulty goes up to make it to basically, I don't want to say thin the herd. It's like, think of it like price. If there's only one cheeseburger left and you're on a desert island, people would kill for that cheeseburger. If there are 10,000 cheeseburgers and 100 people, they become not worthless, but you can get them for pennies on the dollar, right? So same thing with mining. When mining is not difficult enough and it becomes far too easy to mine, and there's far too many people competing, then what they do is they raise the hash rate to make it a little bit more difficult, barrier to entry. It helps sort of regulate the network and keep things on pace for that 210,000 block cycle for the 4 years. So we're keeping it on about a 10-minute block. What do you call it? Regularity. It helps regulate the market. So in terms of mining. So we're seeing difficulty go up, meaning miners are profitable, right? Because there's not going to be a lot of miners if mining isn't profitable. So one of the things that's been that has impacted this is the fact that the ordinals and the stacks and all these things that are basically building onto the Bitcoin ecosystem have increased, not necessarily stacks, but ordinals for sure, is basically producing miner fees. So it's more profitable, which actually brings health into the space because it means miners are not at risk of being unprofitable and needing to sell some Bitcoin to basically pay their bills. That's one of the things that we had to look at in the last cycle. F2 pool was a big one. We'd have these big sell-offs in the market. We're like, what the hell happened? Then we go and look, and George, Cryptos R Us, is the one that really identified this broadly in the market, is that F2 pool would go in and they were just selling these huge chunks. Now, F2 pool, I believe, is one of the companies that was either based in or owned by Chinese miners. And so all this made sense months later when we had or at that point, I think it was weeks later, when we had the Chinese mining ban. And then it's like, oh, maybe they had some inside information. So they were slowly sort of trying to sell off while the market was still high. So we need to pay attention to what miners are doing. And we can see here, miner difficulty just made a new all-time high. We can see this right here on this on-chain chart. This is the hash, basically the hash power, or how difficult it is. So now this is a little bit concerning to me. Across the past week, Bitcoin miners have been sending a significant amount of coins to exchanges, with the largest inflow equal to $70 million. So this is the third largest inflow on record, minus 30 million, less than the peak, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now this is something that is, everything is uncertain here. I don't like this. Miners moving to exchange. Are they going to sell? We see this right here. Look at this. Big inflow, and then this was preparing for a large sell-off. Look at this. Big inflow, sell-off right here. Big inflow, sell-off. Big inflow, sell-off. Now we're having a big inflow on a dip. So, but then the next story, whales boost Bitcoin exposure during altcoin sell-off. Why? People are getting, just like I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream, people are interested in capital protection right now. We're going into a highly likely volatile week. And probably a week or two But we're also coming up on the middle of the month. Will Chinese liquidity come in and save the day in the markets? Will Russia and China and the West and other countries as well be looking to bolster and support more, empower in a more encouraging, empowering way to their citizens and their institutions to have become more a part of the digital asset ecosystem, because the U.S. is absolutely dropping the ball like a toddler, not understanding how things, how to empower something that's one of the best innovations of our lifetime? Could be, but we don't know yet. But we are seeing whales boost exposure, getting out of the riskier stuff, especially with the uncertain landscape. So with whale buying moving up by 1,000 Bitcoin per day while prices fall, there is reason to believe a strong rebound can occur. But we'll have to see how that, we're going to have to see how that plays out. This light blue line is a whale buying. This is the price here. Now, the next thing I want to look at, and this sort of supports of what I was just talking about. We got 238 people in the room, 129 likes. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell, show some love. Let YouTube know you like what's going on here, whether it's here or just you like crypto. If you've ever bought any crypto at all, hit that like button. And let me see. I got to peek at this just to make sure I didn't miss any super chats or anything, because I've been talking, man. There's just so much to go over right now. I'm just reading y'all's comments. BitLab Academy, thoughts on the SEC can freeze all USD on-ramps? It's a good question. That's one of the fears. I don't know if they would freeze all of them, but I think they're moving towards. They've been obviously moving towards more and more aggressive actions, and I think part of the reason why is because central banks and governments that want control want to close off the ability for something that offers more freedom, which is so sad to say. It offers more freedom. It's less controllable by means of having intermediaries that need to make it, like for banks. If I send money to you through your bank, it has to go through multiple step points that they get to take a cut along each step of the way with. And it takes 5 to 7 days for a wire. It's ridiculous. With crypto, you can send it. It's near immediate, depending on which chain you use. But think about it. Even Bitcoin, 10 minutes, that's pretty near immediate compared to a 5 to 7 day wire through the Swift network. So, yeah, I don't know, but I'm in capital protection mode. I still have my long-term holdings. I'm not doing anything with that, but I am definitely more Bitcoin, and I do have a lot of XRP right now. That's one of the things when I was moving some of my profits out of ADA, I put some in my bank account to help cover my move and get a new place. And I moved some of it into XRP as well, because I do think, and this is not advice to you all, I do think that there's going to be a better outcome for the XRP case than the SEC wants, which again is why I think they're moving so aggressively on the rest of the ecosystem. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention here is this right here, BRICS, which is the Brazil, Russia, India, China. I don't know what that S is. South Africa. I can't remember what the S is. Saudi Arabia, maybe. I can't remember. But the BRICS nations ministers unleashed global rebalancing, which we've known about for a while. They've been really attracting people to the BRICS alliance. Bitcoin takes center stage as catalyst for transformation. If we zoom down here, here's another example, Operation Choke Point 2.0, which is kind of the thing we're talking about with Gary Gensler and everything going on with all the lawsuits that they're doing. We can see Operation Choke Point 2.0 fails because no matter what Gary Gensler does, he cannot affect the ruling of the rest of the world. We need to remember that. So what they're doing is over 50% of Bitcoin holdings find safe haven outside the U.S. I don't know what they're doing. They're making the U.S. fall behind with, it's like fighting the railroad because you think horses are better. You are an absolute idiot, these people. I don't know what they're doing, but there was another line here. I thought I highlighted it. No, dang it. I thought I highlighted it. There it is. Yeah. Joshua, I cannot read that just because it's going to take me 5 minutes. Great name. Subjai, India's foreign minister, further posted BRICS as a symbol of change. subtly suggesting that the old ways, possibly talking about the U.S. dollar hegemony, no longer suffices to navigate current geopolitical waters. So is Bitcoin going to be something that's going to be sort of a non-biased, agnostic, trustless, meaning you don't need a third party to trust it, meaning no central government has control over it? Could Bitcoin become a central hub in this BRICS alliance? That would be major, 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 major. So with that being said, we're going to look at some charts. We talked more about the news than I wanted to today, but there's so much going on. It's not really news. It's just what's going on in the markets. When you have a week like this, you have to take a stop, look at the landscape, and then figure out which direction you're going to sail so you don't hit the rocks. That's what we're doing right now. Raul Fibonacci, I'm late for the party. Good morning. You are never late. If you ever show up, even the last minute of the show, you're always welcome. And all of you can watch these later in the day if you need to as well. 249 people, 152 likes. Hit that. I want everybody watching this stream right now, hit that like button. If you're watching on mobile, exit out of the chat, hit the like button, come back into the chat. Time to stretch. Yeah. Mr. Blake, thank you, sir. Everybody. Oh, yeah, my back. Doctor said I need a bagiotomy. Oh. All right. Let's do it. I had to stretch before we do the turbo TA. There's no way that China and India could come to some agreement that would allow for single currency. Well, I think they could come to an agreement to move away from using US dollar back to trade the pair when they're trading goods. Using something that's not controlled by either one of them, like Bitcoin. That's one of the reasons why it was made, was to be independent from any central power, from really, creating a monopoly and leverage with their currency. That's and Bitcoin is amazing for that. Rafiq Gaboria, seems like that's pretty likely. I think China and Russia will struggle too for a permanent agreement unless they can work permanently. Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think a lot of this stuff is geopolitical, chess game. A lot of the things that they say, on the surface in the news is political jockeying and helping shape a narrative for their people, and also trying not to get in trouble, with their people while backroom deals are going on. They're, butting heads in public behind doors. They're shaking hands, because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, global trade and the currency, the profits made in global trade are really shape how the world works. There's a lot of political jockeying that happens on these stages. So at the end of the day, you know what we can do? Kelly has been working on his magic shows. What do you think? What are you talking about? We can do some magic, baby. What does it say? This one book on the shelf bouncing around. Anything else? See it? Is there something bouncing on the shelf? Oh. Why is this? Oh, you know what it is? It's because my cable is plugged into this camera, and I have it all wrapped up. So when I wiggle the desk, it wiggles everything. So I'm sorry if I'm making you all feel like I'm on Deadliest Catch right now in the middle of the Bering Sea. It's like, I'm here on the boat. But let's go ahead. Let's look at these charts. That's enough talking. This is enough jibber jabbering. I will say, if you haven't yet, make sure you come over to BitLab Academy. If you want to understand some of the things I'm going to be talking about, or you just want to or even if you have friends or family that are new to crypto, get them involved. BitLab Academy. We have a free beginners courses, understanding Bitcoin, understanding blockchain, self-custody, and I think like a 18 or 20 lesson beginners course, all the beginners basics. What is a candle? What is price action? What is indicator? But also for the people that want to take it a little further, you can come over here. You click on Start Education for free, or up at the top right on yours, you'll see Enroll Now. You can also scroll down here, and if you go to become an All Access member, right here, you see this. I want All Access. you get to really dive in, and you can see all these courses. I'm back in Atlanta, baby. I'm living here now. So now we can be pumping out a bunch of new content. This is not the end of the game. We got so much new stuff coming, but the all access members get access to all these different courses. I mean, the on-chain course alone has got, I think, 20 lessons in it. All video. It's not text-based. You see here. Okay, this one, yeah, 20 lessons, and we break things down, and you'll see when we do this. Look at these thumbnails of my face. When we get towards the end, you'll see that the
massive downtrend with a lot of miners.
You can see there's a quiz that pops up to help test your stuff. And at the very end, where's it? The very end, there will be a quiz. I don't know why it's not on there. There should be a test that's at the very end here. Alex, crack that whip, get that test in here. I don't know why it's not in here. So you can see we break it all down, understanding how to identify tops, bottoms. Same thing with candles course. We got the candles course, chart formations, TA, all this stuff. You can really understand what's going on. I just wanted to shout that out. So anybody that wants to check that out, you can still use, if you come here and sign up, the all access, you can use give me 30, just like this. Don't type it here. Give me 30, just like that. That gives you 30% off your first month of BitLab Academy. Just come over here again to the go there to the all access area, and you'll be able to sign up. And you put in that code, hit apply, get 30% off. Now we looked at Bitcoin. Let's go ahead, zoom out here. Let me pull up that list that you guys had. We looked at Ethereum. We looked at Cardano. Let's look at XRP. Then we'll look at that list. It's 1102. Okay. The rounding top. First thing I'm seeing, I'm looking at the 4-hour rounding top. Lower low, lower high. What does this remind me of? Different time frames. Produce the same patterns. Look at this. Rounding top, lower low, lower high, capitulate. See that? So now when we come back over here to XRP, even though this is on a 4-hour chart, rounding top, lower low, lower high. Is this bound to break down? I don't know. Everybody's riding on hope right now. Buy the rumor, sell the news. If the news is lackluster, this probably will get a sell-off. If the news is bad, this will get a strong sell-off. So we have to understand that with XRP. Now, when we look at this, we have this zone right below us, which are these, basically all these, this right here, all these zones. But what I'm looking at, if we're looking at all this, let's go get the volume profile. If we lose this level of about 50, I would say 50 cents, I think it's likely we're going to come back down to 47 cents. And if that's the case, maybe a small bounce and then likely continue down here to 45 cents. That's what I'm seeing on XRP. If we look at this with the money flow, look at this. General trend on the money flow is down. So this right now is looking like the money flow wants to come out. This is not looking good. JB Crypto Keeper 11. Uno. Thoughts on Robert Gensler taking short positions before Gary files lawsuit? I did not know that, but I will look into that. But that would absolutely be insider trading. But will they get away with it? I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi and her husband. I mean, I think they would get away with it. But I think at the same time, if this is the case, they would be crucified, especially by the members of Congress that are in support of crypto. Talking about nefarious bad actor, they're trying to protect consumers while somebody in the family is inside trading. That would be terrible. Coordinate with the, okay, yeah. So XRP is looking a little iffy right now. The one thing I will say, though, it looks like we're getting a little bit of a broadening wedge, falling broadening wedge here. Or is it more of a channel? It's a channel. Yeah, so if this were to, reject here, on the bullish side, come down, although this is coming down, this would be bullish if this came down, found support somewhere in this region and bounced up here. The question is going to be, what's the narrative going to be? We want to have something more like, I haven't seen it in a while. Look at this. Look at how much money flow is up and loses, up, it's lost, up, lost. We're not getting much of these rounding back to the upside. And even in this case, this rounding back to the upside resulted in no positive movement on, now we can see option T. We've got a bit of a trend line coming down. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, XRP, these are getting rejected at this level, the stochastics. So I would like to see for the stochastics, for the price to come down, or even if it holds here, for the stochastics to fall and see the interest come down to the undervalued zone. But I think for that to happen, the price is likely going to be coming down here and then have this reset to the bottom, because we can see right here, you see when this resets to the bottom, right here, this strong bounce. Reset to the bottom, dipping below this 20 line, strong bounce. Inverse of that, see this peaks, strong sell-off. So we want to see the stochastics reset. Right now, things are looking like they're finding resistance rather than finding support. See, resistance, resistance, resistance on the stochastics. And we're getting stronger volume on selling than we are on buying. So yeah, it looks like, barring any big news come out, it looks like XRP is struggling to kind of stay in the zone. If we lose 50 cents, I do think we're coming down here to the 47 cent level. So that's XRP. Now let me pull up, where is 219 people, 107. We're getting a lot of likes today. That's a good thing. I appreciate everybody contributing to the health and wellness of crypto ecosystem. Okay, let me see. Live stream. Here we go. Okay. Okay, Filecoin. Let's see. Let's actually come over here. Let's go to my altcoins. And this is when BitBoy's page got hacked, and you know, his Twitter. And I was like, what is this thing that they're talking about? And you can tell, complete scam. You see that? They just were offloading on people, which is why you need to, before you buy anything ever, always you should do your diligence by not clicking links. If you see something, let your brain say something. Go and look into those things. That when I saw this, I was like, Ben, did your page get hacked? He's like, just found out right now. That's when we let everybody know. So let's go here to Ethereum. No, where's Filecoin? Filecoin. All right, let's look at Filecoin. Auto. All righty. This is looking weak. This kind of looks very similar to what Cardano looked like. So let's look at this with Market Cipher. Alrighty, so look at this. Money flow coming out. Money flow coming out. The RSIs are together, which actually shows a little bit of strength, which is disconcerting because this is down. And they're starting to split though a little bit. Let's go to the daily actually. VWAP coming up. This is looking like is going to attempt to bounce. We're getting a little bit of bullish divergence on these waves. See how this is coming right here? If this were to close and round off here, this is lower to this being higher. You see this going up angle, and this is higher and this is lower. This is what's known as a bullish divergence. Similarly, if we look at this on the traditional assets here, we can see that this is lower and this is almost the same. We're not quite getting it there, but we're getting the money flows really coming down. On Filecoin, this is sold off quite large. Let's go ahead and delete this Fibonacci. We're going to do Option T. We're going to create this line right here. Do we have a falling wedge of some sort? We did, but it lost it, so delete that. I'm looking for levels for why we could have bounced where we... Yeah, so if we lose the Filecoin, let's go to auto. Okay. Yeah, this is the level. If Filecoin loses Option J, this is very similar to where the lows are over here. This is basically, if this drops below this, I don't know. Filecoin may be having a very hard time because I would think that this would be support here. We've got this level right here. That was the wick. This is the body. So this had a sharp bullish buy out of this 3-day candle. So let's come down back to the 4 hour. 4 hour. We're seeing where we're at. We're right in this zone right here. We're sitting right on this little volume node we can see on the VPVR right here. So what we want to do, here is there an opportunity for a buy on Filecoin? Well, I mean, things are looking so uncertain right now. If I had to pick between a few things to allocate into, for me, one of them would not be Filecoin. This doesn't have a lot of support over here. If we zoom all the way back, seems like there is some volume there, but as this stands where it is, this looks a bit like a, let's go to the 8 hour. This looks a bit like a bear pennant. Option T. So if this would be the case, option T, let's kind of go like this. I did this from the bodies. Sorry. I did not do it from the wick. This would take us down basically to retesting down here to the $2.44 region, which is a, you know, that's a 33% loss if that were to happen. Now, if this does reverse and go back to the upside, then, you know, if for those of you who are trading longer term, oh, Brad Guidell, longer term, great. For those of you who are actively trading now, trying to make money on a long, I don't know if this is a thing to do it on something short term. For a longer term position, say into 2024, 2025, meaning when the parabolic uptrend comes, I think this could be a great opportunity then. If this does round, the money flow rounds out here, we'll be getting a strong bullish divergence on money flow. We see these things being flat, actually angled up a little bit. We are getting a little bit of bullish divergence on the stochastics here, not so much on the RSI, but things, if this were to sell off again and bounce here and the stochastics reset, then it could have had a great buy. In this case, this dropped all the way down here. We had the stochastics reset. We have the RSI coming down to this zone. I do think that for a longer term, a medium, like a midterm play to a longer term play, great buy. Not financial advice, strategy advice. And what you're going to do with your own assets and understanding your own risk exposure and understanding what you want to do, you've got to make that determination. Will never tell you what to buy, when to buy, why to buy it. I will share my strategy for how I'm looking at the market. So this does look a bit like a bear pennant. If this does lose this level, I would be looking for another leg down, maybe have a target somewhere in this region here, 265 to 250, maybe short front run this sort of level here. If we do a move from option F from this, actually, no, let's not do that. Let's do option F from here. Look at this. From this move to this move, this came right down to the 3.618. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I would be looking for a breakout either direction. If this broke out to the downside, I'd be targeting here. If this broke out to the upside, I would be looking specifically right at this zone right here, the 399, because this is the low region, 399, basically $4 to 410 region. If we're able to take that region, then maybe we have a reversal in place. If you're looking long term, then anywhere in this region, I think is a good buy. Now, Atom was the next one. Where is my Atom? Let's just type it in. ATOM crypto. USDT. I mean, this is going to be the same. A lot of these are going to look so similar. Let's go to the 3-day, double click, move out. So as this stands right here, option T is the first thing I see. Once you have been doing this a while, your eyes just get drawn to where you can see parallels. This looks a little bit, okay, now. So this looks very contentious right here. Now, why did I do this? Rejection, 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 rejection. This actually could go up just a little bit. Bounce, 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 falls through. support, support, support. Now we're right on this. If we lose this, option J, yeah, I'm going to do this right here. These are the next two levels I'm looking at to the downside. If this loses this, we're at what, 868, 867. If Adam loses this, there's more, bad news or just cascading liquidations, whatever it is. If this drops, I would be looking. I'd be looking down here at about the $6 range. If we lose these levels, then I'd be looking all the way down here at the $4 range. Now, if we do bounce here, this is a symmetrical triangle. If we do bounce here, then we're looking right up here at the 1277 range, which we also have this point of control. If we zoom out on all of it, this point of control, which is right here, right at these previous sort of local highs right here on this drop down. The real thing I'd be seeing right here is, let's go ahead and make this a little smaller. Actually, let's not make it smaller. Let's make it a little more transparent because it's not as important. But now we can see, you see how we can sort of adjust. We can adjust this. Now, why did I do that? Because we have this trend line. This is like a pattern within the pattern. In this case, we had option T. We had this sort of symmetrical, descending triangle within this sort of symmetrical triangle. Bottom fell out. We bounced in the zone. If we come up, I'm looking at this target right here, $10.44. If we get rejected here and come back down here, then we're getting a higher likelihood that this level is going to be lost. If the bulls take over and they can only take it up here about, if they can only make it up about, what's that? That's 17%. That's not a small move. Playable move, especially smaller time frame traders. But if we're not able to overtake this level and then come up here to test this, then I think that this is going to reject, come down here, break out, where's my, this can't do this. Then I think what's going to happen is if this comes up and gets rejected, that's what I think is going to happen. We can make that red. Now, we very well could get up here and come like this too. So 3 different options in play. We just need to see what the strength is. Volume's low. That means that, look at this, not much buying. Look at this, a lot of interest up here at the top. Look how much the interest has fallen off here. This is a 3-day chart. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Look at this. Volume. Volume is one of the best signals in the market. The volume is dominated by selling. Why do we know that? These are the high volume peaks. The volume peaks are red, meaning red dominated the volume traded in these candles. We're not having we had a big green one here, but as it is now, the red selling is dominating this. If we were looking at this as it stands, golly. Yeah, this is what we were talking about with Cardano the other day. That's what it's looking like to me currently. That's what my mind is telling me. I don't know if it's going to do that. Let's look at these indicators. Okay, MACD crossing up. RSI, this is worrying right here. You see this peak? What did I just draw there? If we look at this, what I see is you can do trend lines on RSI and moving oscillators just like you can with price. And what you're going to see is a behavior pattern of people, market participants, and behavior of traders in the market. You're seeing basically trend lines of what the behavioral strength is, buying pressures, momentum, all these sorts of things. And you see here, we've got this peak, and then we have 2 points, gives us a trend line, and we can extend that out. The interesting thing is here, you see as we're moving up into this, we haven't even gotten to it yet. The strength is falling off. So this is what I was seeing when I was looking at this, when I was saying that this looks like it could be doing this, because we're seeing the not only these things, you see the RSI kind of finding resistance there. What else do we see that hints weakness at this level? Price came up all this way, didn't even get to this low up here at 930, 936. And look how high the stochastics are. Already into overheated zone. Overheated zone. Money flow is trying to cross over, but we're coming right into the zone. Stochastics are overheated. When you have stochastics this high, if you're looking at nothing else, you just want to look at an asset and you look at only, literally, you look at only the stochastics, you don't look at price action, you go, okay, what happened? Option V, option V, option V. I'm drawing horizontal lines that will project onto where the price action is. Okay, we're gonna look at this. Now let's go ahead and look at look at this. Stochastics overheated, sell off. Stochastics overheated, sell off. Stochastics overheated, sell off. Stochastics overheated forewarned a sell off. Look at this. Stochastics overheated. This is almost as high as it was right here. And we made barely any, oh, sorry. We made barely any, where did my, yeah. We made barely any headway up with bullish movement here. Unless we get a strong bullish wick, very strong bullish buying here, which at that point, it wouldn't be healthy unless we got a ton of volume, which barring any sort of major news or dismissal of all SEC cases, I don't think it's going to happen. So it's looking like this is at some point going to start rolling over, test this zone, and likely lose this level. So if that's the case, what are those levels? And we talked about it, 550. So somewhere in this region here, we can draw a box. We can kind of go like this. You mother clucker. We're going to draw a little box right in here. And we're going to draw another copy paste. Then we don't have to draw it again. Use your quick keys, everybody. Make it easy on yourself. Now we're going to do this one being orange. And for me, I mean, I'll make this much bigger. For me, anything down at this level is like, yo, sucker, this is some good prices. You know what I'm saying? Yo, sucker. All right. Yeah, let's go like that. So these are the two levels I'm watching with Adam. Now, H-bar. And I took some profits on H-bar as well the other day. Still holding it. This one I want. This is one of those things that I want in my portfolio. But I had to make some decisions. You know what? And I'm proud of myself for making them. So look at this. This level's right here. Option J. See these lows? Look at exactly where we bounced. Now, if we come here, option F, which is Fibonacci, top to bottom. If you're on PC, when I say these options, think alt. So alt, quick keys, everybody. Alt or option. H is horizontal. Option or alt. V is vertical. Option or alt F is your Fibonacci up. Same thing. Up or down. Just click once and then click twice. What was the other? Option T is your trend line. Okay. Option J is your horizontal ray. You see that? Now you know how to move through the charts quickly. Okay, so what we're looking at here, we got our roadmap. This is option J. We lose this level. Look at this. This came down perfectly to where this wick came right here. You see how this is why it's so important to look to the left, meaning zoom out on the chart. It will give you a roadmap. Let's go to the daily. Let's look at some other levels. So I don't want it to go here, but I would be a buyer. I'll tell you what, if it went down to 3 cents, if we lose this level, if H bar loses this level, I'd be looking right in this zone. I would be definitely a buyer in this region here, and I'd be a buyer anywhere below this. Absolutely. So what does the interest say? We see volume starting to turn up, so that's good. Momentum averages are down. We can see the MACD. See, I'm just looking at the green and the red. I don't even need to look at these lines. I can tell the momentum's down. MACD flipped red. Is this starting to round about? Starting to. See, large expansion, meaning these small, and all of a sudden we get these really big histogram bars. And then all of a sudden this is starting to round off. This is the daily. So we have the rest of the day to contend with, but we'll have to see. But this is what we want to see. We want to see it start rounding like this. And if we are bullish, we see the RSI is rounding up. Look at this. We have a bullish divergence on the stochastics and the price. See, this is going up as this is falling. So we're seeing some increased interest here, and we're seeing money flow. This dip down into this price action pullback. We see the money flow pull back as well, and it's starting to expand, meaning money's coming back into this asset. So if this were to dip down below, this would be an absolute buy. But this is one of the stronger ones I've seen yet. If this does make its way back to the upside, option F from the top here, we want to see what a likely bounce could look like. If this does continue moving up, we'd have to look right here where all this price action is also where the golden pocket is. You see this right here? Golden pocket right at the, it's not very high from here, but right at the 488 to 491. If we're able to take this level, it's right about where the lows are of this are as well. Basically 490 to 5 cents. We're able to come up with this, and there's strength and volume and money flow still coming in, and the stochastics, if we do get a pullback, it's a small pull. Like, for instance, if we come up to this level and pull back to the golden pocket, find support, and then move up, that would be very bullish. That's going to kind of depend on what's happening in these markets, what's happening with all this volatility this week. You know, what volatility am I talking about? We have all this stuff coming out. What the news narratives are going to be on this. Look at the charts. Be aware of what's in the news, but look at the charts, okay? Look at these charts, yo. Look at these charts. Solana, not one I very rarely look at, but I guess it's worth looking at. Look at this. Range, loss. We barely lost it too. Let's go to 3-day. Double click. Okay. This, yeah, I'd be looking. Option T. This looks a little bit like Adam did. Very different, but a little bit. Why here? Bottom, a little bit of a bounce. This should be a little sharper. So if Solana comes back down and tests the lower side of this, which is basically 1324, and loses it, I'm looking at 907. If we lose that, then, you know, one of the things we can do is man, I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta experiment. What you're trying to do is to find, you know what? No, that's not going to do it. You're trying to find confluence of where certain signals are lining up with price levels and volume. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. So what this is looking like to me is if Solana loses this level, we be coming back here to 9. If we lose this level, then probably a much stiffer fall. I mean, we could be coming down as low as 475. But for me, I feel like that would be a pretty dramatic fall. I mean, that's a huge, yeah, can't do it that way. What am I doing? That would be a 70% drop from where we're at. So that would be a pretty big deal. I think if we come down here and let's just do it level by level. We'll be looking at this $9.78 level. Let's look at STX. Let me just say, if we did bounce here. If we do come up, we're looking at this level right here, basically about $19 to $20. And we want to see there. Do we have strength? If we're going to break through, great. But things are looking very weak right now. We are coming in towards the apex of where this is meeting, though. If we do break out of this, we have some immediate levels above us, right? And this zone right here, and in this zone right here, tops here. So let's take this level by level. If this does get some sort of positive news, we've got to break through not only this level, but also all this price action right here. I think this is going to be a bit more of a headache than people believe. If this comes up here, I do think we'll get another rejection before we do go to the upside. But I am looking for some sort of breakout to the downside at some point, probably a washout, even if it's bullish, washout before we come back up. Otherwise, washout, rejection, and then come down and get these lower levels. Now, we're going to do stacks. This will be our last one. Okay, as it stands right now, this is looking better than some of the other ones, I'll tell you that. Falling wedge, but more so than that, almost like a falling channel. Golly. Everything is so hinging on everything is so hinging on everything going on with the SEC and all these court cases. So, you know, we came back down. Look at this. Push up, came back down right into this golden pocket. We have lost a golden pocket, though. We bounced on the 786, as Army Piper calls it, the platinum pocket. No sound. Okay, good. Man, that gave me a heart attack. I was like, have I been talking for 20 minutes with no sound? Good. I see other people have sound. So if we lose this level, we're coming back down into this sort of zone right here. Why do I say this zone? We got a bounce here. We have some rejections here. If we want to, sometimes I do a line rather than just spending the time to come in here and do the box, which we can do. Sometimes I just do a line because every line I do, I know is regional. So if we lose this level, we're coming down here into the 31 cent sort of region, 30 cent to 30 to 33 cents zone. If we do lose this, who's messaging me? Okay. So this is what I'm looking at. But this is looking more bullish. This is a sort of push up. This is a 3-day chart. That's why this is a push up, sell off. Let's kind of come down to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, this still looks more bullish. This is kind of the zone right here. If we need this to be for bulls. We need this to be a W. But look how uncertain this looks. This could be a W, but we also have a M formation within this with a lower high. So if this turns into a little mini bear reversal right here where this actually loses, look at this M. So we have this W. What do I mean by this? You know, we have a double bottom, which would be like boom, 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 right? Which is essentially what we have right here. But we also have this M formation right here. So things are just looking very uncertain. As this stands, this on the bottom side gives me a little bit of pause because this is looking like it's a descending triangle on the bottom side of the support, which is fairly flat. And if we lose this, then I do think we'll be at least testing this 44 cents again. If we can't hold this, which at this case, this would be a case that could probably come down like this, find resistance, and then lose it and come down to this 33 cent level. But that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. Everybody, have you hit that like button? Have you hit that subscribe button? Have you ding that bell? And before we go, have you come over here to the BitLab Academy tweet? It's pinned in the top of the chat. Make sure you come here. Follow us. Make sure you're following the correct one. It's got the gold check. It's got the hit. Follow us here. Hit this retweet. Hit this like button. Be entered to win. We give away stuff every Friday. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to be kind of, I'll be here, but I'll be bouncing around. I have to find an apartment to live in. So I'm kind of doing some stuff this week to handle that. But I'm going to be streaming every morning as much as I possibly can. So, yeah, I love you all. I appreciate you all. And with that, I will see you all in the next video. Love you all. Over and out. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting that like, subscribe, and being my friend. Hit that like button, sucker.